But if I got to audition for the opportunity or be ready for the opportunity, then I just want to be ready.
So your very first deal with the saxophone, right? It was with the Heat, right?
With the Heat.
Did you have to audition for that?
Yep. My boy Rob Height, he was a rookie. He was the second lead scorer in the ACC.
Okay, so how did you know him?
We went to high school together.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was his AAU coach back in the day, so it was cool. Our families are cool. So, you know, all the Wentwoods people out there.
Everything goes back to relationships, right?
It's all relationships. Good and bad.
Hey, why you always stress that, the good and bad?
Because you need, in order to make the shit work, it got to move. It got to do something. I mean, you have to test the water sometimes. I mean, it's just like a job interview. You know, some people, you know about their character, they do things that you may not like or whatever, but you give them grace. You like just who they are. You want them in their life.
Okay.
But then you can have relationships with women or with men who come into your life for a short time and make a greater impact, and then they just gone. Versus those people who are in your life for a lifetime, you know, like they say in church, you know, people in your life for seasons. Some things go longer than others.
So so were you looking to audition for the Heat and to play the saxophone, or were you doing your deal? How does that come about?
They laid me off on a 5-minute conference call when I was in Mexico.
Johnson & Johnson.
Johnson & Johnson deal.
Wait, what you doing in so Mexico? You were vacationing?
No, I was in charge of manufacturing. Mexico.
Oh,
Puerto
so
Rico,
you at work?
I was working. 5-minute conference.
So you at work and conference call? They're like, hey,
It's like me and my two engineers. Hey, yes, guys. You know, I just wanted to take this moment in time to reach you and thank you for a job well done. I'm just like that. I'm gonna tell you that it only took 5 minutes. I just wanted to let you guys know that you're
doing a hell of a job.
You've done an amazing job. You know, John, as you close out this project, just know that this is the closeout for both of your careers. You know, we really thank you for the work that you've done. You really made an impact in this thing. You know, I got to hurry up and get to this quick meeting, man. I just wanted to wish y'all well. You have a good time. Your stuff will be boxed up when you get back. All right, then. Yeah. Oh, okay.
You supposed to be like who was it? It was Steve Hart said you ain't just gonna fire Willie Turner. You and that was it.
Well, you know.
How long were you with him?
We were 4.5 years. But my two engineers that were with me, they were 6 months away from retirement, so their stuff got cut.
Come on,
it was a lot. There was a lot of stuff behind it. They got cut.
Did that hurt you more than you?
I was just trying to get that whole project. I was supposed to get my green belt and my black belt certification, so I could be official, officially, because that's what the whole purpose of the project was for. And I didn't get that certification. They didn't get their retirement, and so I was like, okay, all right, this is how it is. I done busted my ass. I done got all this stuff, put up with all the politics, and they gonna lay me off like this. So I was like, all right, cool. Let me see what this saxophone can do. And so my homeboy was like, hey man, they having auditions at the Heat. Come on through. So I was like, all right. So he took me up to the front office, and everybody came out. They was like, go ahead and play. And so I played the national anthem.
So you were on the chopping block right there in front of everybody. Like, hey, nah, we ain't finna have you in the room with one-on-one. You about everybody. Hey, come on, man. What you got?
Yeah, start playing. It was like, oh, so this was on a Friday.
Wait, so how long between when you got released or fired?
Okay, so I got laid off on probably, I think that was a Wednesday. We finished out the project, came back home on that Monday. I think that following Wednesday, my homeboy was like, hey man, I'm gonna bring you to the office so you can audition. I was doing the national anthem at the game that Friday. 26,000 people. My mom flew in like,
my baby made it.
Hold on, you doing what? Oh, I'm there, I'm coming. I'll be on the first day smoking tomorrow.
Hey, my mom was on play, dude. I remember I got ordained as a pastor. My mom, I'm like, Mom, they ordained me as a pastor. You know, I ain't looking for it, whatever. She like, when? I'm like, is this that? She said, oh, okay. She like, hey, I booked my flight. What you mean you booked your flight? Mom, this is just a little small deal. She like, man, my baby ain't nothing like the mamas, man.
Mama always been there, man. Mama always been there, man. She just.
But you, so you finished the project?
We had to finish the project.
What you mean you had to? They done told you done. You ain't have to do that now. Maybe you had to because your commitment to whatever, but dude, you ain't finna fire me and expect me to still work.
But the project was to shut down the Miami plant and moved everything to Mexico. So it had to be working efficiently.
No, it didn't. That's not, once you fire me, that's no longer my project, brother.
Yeah, but you have to haunt me later on for when I'm trying to get referrals and trying to.
Man, look. See, there you go.
Projects.
Once again, the way you thinking long game.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Negro, please.
I can't do that. I can't do that because I just was so proud to get them certifications and to be in charge of them.
But you didn't get them.
No, but still, I got the education. And I took all that and applied it to Jon Saxx Entertainment.
Okay.
That's why I got 2 trademarks. That's why I move around the world like that, because it was personal. You know, now mind you.
And what year was this?
This was 90. This is 2004 to 2008.
Okay.
And then so I knew the year before that we were gonna probably get laid off in 2008. So I started Jon Saxx.
What you mean you knew?
Because we
felt it?
Yeah, we did 10,000. It was 10,000 person layoff. So it was 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. 3,000, 3,000, 4,000. So I knew it was coming. I was gonna be in that last 4,000.
Why?
Because I was the one in charge of the project. I was a project manager.
So what does that mean though? I thought that the project manager is the key.
Finished the project and then we moved everything to Mexico. So I wouldn't move to Mexico.
Why not? Wait, so
Mexico?
Juarez, that's what that means. That's where all the kidnappers and the murders be. So so check this out. So wife and I just went on a cruise, right? It's funny you say that. So everything, so whether it's Sicario, they go through Juarez, right? So we went and I'm like, babe, we're gonna do this Caribbean cruise, this Western Caribbean cruise, and then went to Cozumel, Costa Maya, went to Belize. I'm like, babe, we're going to Mexico. She's like, where in Mexico? I'm like, we're going to the first time was Juarez. She's like, no, it ain't.
Yeah.
For real?
Juarez ain't a joke, bro. Everything they
Are
say
you
about
serious? Is it real?
Yeah, it's a man. Juarez ain't a joke, bro. One of our BPs got robbed.
I thought it was just on TV. So that thing is a reenactment of real life.
Man, they boxed him in between 2 trucks and took the car, and he walked to the plane.
At least he survived, though.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that shit ain't no joke, man.
Come on, man.
It's a different. It's
So you weren't gonna relocate?
But you figure, since they laid me off, they took my salary, and what they do is that's 10 workers.
Come on. Now you
plus
talking.
Transportation to job and 3 meals and daycare for your kids.
And people excited about that.
Yeah. But I mean, remember in those plants, there's like 10 to 15,000 people working though. We're on the assembly lines.
So you didn't feel the type of way since you prepared for it, since you I guess predicted that it was coming. You didn't feel the type of way. You didn't feel the type of way about it being on the phone.
I felt that's why I became a musician. I went into a whole thing that I said I wasn't gonna do. I didn't want, you know what I'm saying? Like that was just for church. That was just
so Jon Saxx experience. Why didn't you want to do it?
Because I knew people was gonna try to cheat you with the money when it came to the money, and then I binge watched Unsung.
In the entertainment?
I binge watched Unsung because I wanted to know what was gonna happen out here. Why don't these groups stay together? So I did a whole 2 month of binge watching Unsung to see what I needed to know, to stay away from, to be, to trust, the who, to be, how to do, what I needed to do, what I needed to trademark, what type of songs I needed to write, all that shit. I went into straight engineering, geek out. Like,
so you applied the engineering piece to the entertainment piece, and you were like, no.
I knew I had to have a plan coming in. So my initial plan was just play for free, get the camaraderie, and then once I got picked up with the heat, it was just like, man, they automatically thought I assumed I charged this, and this. I was like, okay. It's like, you probably charged them with $500 an hour? Yes, thank you. And then you started learning how much money people really have and what's the budget, because remember, I was always in charge of the budget. So if I know how much you got to spend, then I know how much I need to charge.
Right.
And then I just went with like that, and then I established myself. And then when they would give me the gig, now I became the project manager. Now it's not just me playing the saxophone. Now I'm running the show.
Now hold on. When you say the project manager, what do you mean? So they gave you the gig. So what are you in charge of? Because I think so. Well, let me ask: is the mistake that is made? We see you. We think you are the entertainer only. Jon Saxx, saxophone player. That's it. That's the only thing he's doing is this. He has no influence on this. That's the assumption that people make, correct? So when you say project manager, if I see Jon Saxx and we'll talk about the Jon Saxx experience in a moment. What are you doing? Because you're not just playing the saxophone.
Well, anytime you have a party with a purpose on purpose, that means there's a
What?
meaning, a party with a purpose on purpose.
Every party with a purpose on purpose.
Yeah, and that means anytime somebody's having a party, it's with purpose, on purpose, for a purpose, right?
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, what ingredients do you need? You need food, alcohol, music, entertainment, and a why.
Okay.
All of those things make up a party.
Right.
So we already know the food is going to come from somebody. We know the entertainment is going to come from somebody. The music is going to come from somebody. And you're providing the why, the reason why all these people are getting
coming
together
yeah.
to spend this money for whatever.
Yeah.
So it's up to my job to make that matrix, to make that environment so amazing and so complimentary that you want to stay. You're going to feel good. As soon as that music hits your soul, you're gonna want to stay. You're gonna want to drink more food, drink more alcohol. You're gonna drink more food. That means you're gonna get more money.
So let me ask. So when did the Jon Saxx experience become a thing? Was that from the right off top, or did you have to figure out as you're navigating everything that you don't want to just come in and be the entertainment? You don't want to just come in and play the saxophone. Because I've experienced a Jon Saxx experience. And it was up lights that I'm still trying to live down, right? It was the whole sound system. It was the look, the feel, the ambiance. It was this je ne sais quoi, right? Cause I told you, man, Bluetooth mic, Bluetooth speaker. You're like, oh no. So when did the experience become a thing? Was that an immediate thing once you started doing the saxophone, or did that? You have to figure out that you want to apply excellence to that.
Well, remember, all of this stems back to family, the relationships you have with your family.
Right.
So every holiday, we used to go somewhere. Either my aunt's house for Christmas, Father's Day was at my house.
Time out. So speaking of family, you were just on the phone with your nephew and your niece, and they sitting there, Uncle John, and I'm sitting here like, can you let his mom and daddy talk to him? No.
Uncle John, when you coming back? Uncle John, when we playing? Uncle John.
So when they say that they're going to your house, they're not here.
Yeah, they in Ohio.
They're in Ohio, but it ain't. Well, so what do they call your mom and dad?
Granny and Papa.
So they ain't going to Granny and Papa. They're going to Uncle John's house. So how do Granny and Papa feel about that?
They don't mind because when I show up, everybody can get some rest.
Ooh.
Because Uncle John gonna be, so they be like.
So now let me ask. Now here, straight up, is your niece and nephew, were they expecting you to be at your house when they went there?
No, they had no idea I was coming in town. Because remember, we were just together for a whole week in Helen,
Are you
Georgia.
Are you going in town? You going to Ohio?
No.
Oh,
I just came back.
Okay.
But my niece turned 4.
Okay.
So I popped in to surprise her real quick. And then I was out. But they had just saw me for a week in Georgia. And so we was together for a week during a family vacation. And they didn't expect me to come back. But I came back because I was coming.
So what is it about you being Uncle John? Because Jon Saxx is cool. Jonathan is all right. But Uncle John, do you change? What is it about Uncle John that changes you? Because I don't know, your niece and nephew, but I saw you on the phone with them, and you were a different guy.
Well, for me, my aunt didn't have kids, and so she was like my super aunt. You know what I'm saying? She just did everything that if I got in trouble or whatever, that's when my aunt. So she kind of showed me how to be.
Did you get in trouble?
Man, well, I stayed on punishment. I stayed on punishment. I used to get my ass. What's up? My mom grew a Swiss tree in the front yard.
She grew a Swiss tree
in the front yard
for you.
That was the point.
And you had to go get it.
I had to go get it.
You had to choose which one.
I was very bad.
For real?
I was terrible.
For real? Have you apologized to your parents?
What they tell me is that my nephew acts just like you. See how he act and turn everything up? That's you. That is you.
And you be giving your nephew grace. So he ain't that bad.
Yeah, he ain't that bad.
Shit,
no, he bad. He bad too. And so my parents be like, yeah, you deal with it. Yeah, now you know. So now I kind of understand. It's like we're raising our younger selves.
Yeah.
My mom is so excited that she was like, yeah, so you get the taste of you. You don't have no kids, but now you do. And their father he ain't the best. So somebody has to step up. And so
is that because, dude, man, I've seen the best of. I've seen what I thought was best of you until I saw you today. Today I saw the best of you. Today I saw this. You're out here swinging your driver, having conversation, and then to hear the light on the other side of the phone and what that did to you, dude, you changed.
Yeah, it does, man. It's a different perspective. You know, I raised a sister, so you know, me and my sister are real tight. So I know how to treat a woman. I know how it should be. I know how it should go.
They international. They British Columbia. They are.
So you know, dealing with women, I know how to deal with women. I know how to deal with situations. I know how to deal with stuff. I know how to. I have plenty of homegirls. I understand. But when you're dealing with a little girl, all those emotions, a little boy, all those emotions, you got to live in that world that they're in. You're an adult, but you got to live in that world.
So let me ask you this: how much is it when you live in their world? How much of it is stressful versus how much is a relief? Because now, like I know when I deal with my kids at church, oh, I get to dream again. I get to not care what nobody say. Man, dude. My best days are when I'm sitting there with the baby. Well, I call them my babies, right? And so I got 30-year-old babies now, since how long I've been doing this. And so I get to see kids who are like, oh yeah, we can do this, this, and this. And don't you want to do this? And I'm like, heck yes, I want to do this. How much of it is the responsibility of Uncle Jon versus, man, the opportunity that I get to dream and play and have fun?
Uncle Jon's goal is to help you dream bigger than you knew you could dream for yourself. So we do this thing called fly. I be like, hands up. They put their hands up and I hold them up and I fly them around the room. I fly them over ground.
How old are they?
1 and 4.
Ooh, so when they get, you do know when they get 8 and 9. You do know when they get 8 and 9, they still gonna be expecting Uncle Jon to be, hey, let's fly.
That's why I've been working out so I can know their behinds all around. And I do this thing called knee. I be like knee. And I be like, I'm gonna get your knee. They be like, don't get my knee. Something so simple as knee. So I'm Uncle knee.
Is that what that's what you were saying on the phone? I was curious what was going on.
It's a little
dude, and you don't even, I don't know if you realize it, but you had your driver in your hand, but you moving like this right here. I'm like, boy, come on.
It's just it just brings it back to life, man. Like, you know, you don't really, because I don't get a chance to see my family probably only once or twice a year.
Yeah.
So we take a week-long vacation, and we usually do 2 week-long vacations. One in around about this time, and always in Christmas they come to me.
Everybody want to come to South Florida when it's cold everywhere else, right?
It's snow, yeah. But for me, it just that's what kind of changed my life. So it changed my relationships all the way around because I genuinely care about people. Like the whole on social media, hey, how you doing, all that. I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna check on you. Like, man, how you doing?
So are you that guy when someone's birthday, you're like, nah, I'm not sending no text message. I'm calling you. Happy birthday.
I'm gonna send you a virtual card with your face in it. Because I want you to remember that it's coming from me and that it's fun and I really thought about it. But I'm gonna normally call you.
Okay, so I've got an issue with you, but we're gonna say a quality and a characteristic. One, my issue with you is that you don't know how to do anything small. Right? Why is Jon Saxx so big? Why, like your mentality? Like, so what is it about you that says we're going to do this and I'm going to let you know that you are valuable, and I'm not just going to say happy birthday. I'm going to make sure that you see the effort that's put into it. Why is that?
I came from my parents. My father was the first black police lieutenant in his district, and my mom was the first black principal in her district. So they moved a certain type of way. They was always there at the events. Anytime somebody needed them, they was there. Whether they were sick, they would cook food, take them food, no matter who it was. I was always taking care of my grandparents and my great aunts, and we would always stop there on the way to church and stuff like that. So that's all I really knew. You either do it big, somebody's sick, regardless if you haven't talked to them or not, call them, check on them, see how they doing, call them on their birthday, it's such birthday. It just, my mom and dad would never let me get out of that cycle. So it was that's just how I am. I'm gonna check on you. Regardless if you don't call me, I'm gonna call you because that's what I'm saying.
Because it's not about you, right?
Yeah, no.
Okay, so my next thing, I see you in a lot of different places. Dozens of different places. But you always have the same people with you. DJ Mike T. You always promoting and supporting Lex and Roses, right? The whole deal with you and your saxophone people that you have the partnership with, right? Then I see you with the charity, the Prestige Club. You have an opportunity to go everywhere, to do everything, but you keep the same people with you. If I see Saxx, I know DJ Mike T is gonna be driving. I know that we're gonna be repping Craft and Cousin. No question, right? So why is it, what is it about this thing? Cause I know, and I know you're gonna say relationships, but you're in a position now where you could have, I know for a fact, you've had people come and say, Saxx, we wanna stand next to you. We want to do your branding. Craft and Cousin is cool, but he ain't me. Right, here's what we could do. Yeah, I know you do gifts and you're thoughtful for your people, but we're better than Lex and Roses, which I doubt, by the way. Shout out to Lex and Roses.
Lex and Roses.
Hey, I mean, come on. You're internationally known now. DJ Mike T, you've outgrown him. Shout out to DJ Mike T, changed me and my wife's life. So why is it that no matter where you go, you always have this handful of people that you're gonna have with you no matter where you go, dude? And I do want to say that is rare right now.
There's no such thing as I and team. You gotta have a team to do anything. You need a coach and you need a team. And so for me, I just never wanted to be on this journey by myself because I didn't have nobody to share with. I didn't have nobody to have my back. And I've always worked in team environments as an engineer. So I grew up in team environments. I grew up in a family of support, and I want to help change people's lives. Like, this wasn't initially my dream to beat Jon Saxx and to have the experience.
It wasn't, for real?
Oh man, I didn't really want necessarily.
So what did you want to be?
Be a super famous engineer and change lives. Like, I came into the medical device company, Johnson & Johnson. One of my best friends is a neurosurgeon, one of the top neurosurgeons. Shout out Dr. Davis at Memorial. He sits on my board at the charity. I was his research engineer, and he used to open the doors for me at Johnson & Johnson when I used to have to take trainings. So I've sat in on surgeries, I sat in on trainings, so that's all I know. I'm sitting there, heart disease, and plus heart disease runs in my family.
Yeah.
So for me, it was a labor of love. 6 months in, my grandfather needed a stent, so it was up to me to figure out who had the best stent. Is it Johnson & Johnson? Was it Medtronic? At that time, I didn't care who made the best stent, regardless of who I worked for.
You cared about your grandfather.
I cared about my grandfather. So I took a more hands-on approach, and I needed to see it from the doctor's perspective. I needed to get out of manufacturing. I needed to get into the hospital. I needed to see what these implantable devices are, what's the good, what's the bad, meet some of the surgeons, why they do this, why they do that. But that's just me because I need to know. I have to be the smartest person in the room because I'm the only black person in the room. So if I'm not the smartest person in the room and I'm not bringing value to that room, there's no need for me to be in the room. So I made sure that I knew every aspect of everything in there so that if somebody had a question, I could answer it. Otherwise, they're gonna keep me in the dark.
So I have a question. So let's get back to this Jon Saxx experience. What is because people do what you do, right? I'm not sure that I have, and so I know people. I've been around good people. I've been around great people. I have not been around someone as thoughtful about the experience that the other people have as much as you.
I probably got my official formally training once I joined Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. Big shout out to the noobs, yo. And the fundamental purpose is achievement in every field of human endeavor, with purpose, on purpose, for a purpose. So, if life is a project to be managed, then you live in a risk management plan. That's an asset. I'm an asset. The experience, any type of experience that you have, is an asset. I grew up going to Kings Island, which is one of the largest amusement parks in the world. And so,
where is that?
That's in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Cincinnati, Ohio.
So okay. I'm an amusement park.
So you do know that people who see you now, you are the epitome of South Florida, Miami. They're like, Ohio. So you're born and raised?
Born and raised Cincinnati, Ohio. Moved down here specifically to work for Johnson & Johnson.
So let me ask you, so I have a question. Important question.
Okay.
Maybe a silly question.
Yeah.
What's your biggest hurdle in the space that you're in? Because I look at you, and I look at you differently now than when I met you, right? So I met you as Jon Saxx, the entertainer.
Yeah.
That was a box. Unfortunately, I put you in, and I said, oh, he's great at what he does, but he only does this.
Yeah.
I did not know the engineer part. I did not know the project manager part, but I didn't know the good guy part. I didn't know the Uncle John. I did not know the like. You are a student of life and of people. So, what is the biggest? I don't want to say. I don't know if challenge or hurdle is the right thing. What is the biggest thing that you face in the environment that you find yourself in?
Most people just usually look at Jon Saxx, the person that I've created, the brand that I've created, as I'm just a help. I'm just an amazing saxophonist.
Hey, so hold on. So when you say the help, that's a hard word.
Yeah, I'm just a saxophone guy that the party is going to be off the chains. You can guarantee, and he's everywhere. I'm hidden in plain sight, but that's all they see. That's the only part of the brand that they see is that. You're going to see me at the golf tournaments, kicking us off with the national anthem. You're going to see me at all the sports teams at the national anthem. You're going to see me at the parties. You're going to see me at the corporate events playing the saxophone. Now, rarely ever do they choose to have a conversation with me. And once the conversation happens...
So let me ask you, why do you think they refuse to have the conversation? Do you think that is because they're in the moment and they're enjoying what you do? Do you think it's because they respect you? Because here's what I know. I never want to interfere with someone doing their craft. So me, I am a student of people and business and branding, right? So from the time that we got to know each other, man, crafting cousins, exactly. Bam, crafting cousins, thank you. So I'm sitting here, I'm like, hey, Sax, I like what you do, this, and this. And you're so freely giving of all of your secrets. You say, like, oh, crafting cousin, reach out to him, here, bam. He's gonna take care of you. Tell him Sax sent you. And dude has taken care of me like crazy. Mm-hmm. And we ain't even started yet. Mm-hmm. The whole golf gear that we got, you know, I got upset with you because you had that French cuff joint, and you did what I was looking for years. You had the Jon Saxx and not just the monogram with the 3 initials. I was like this, you know where we were. We had no business being there, but we were there. And so you had that Jon Saxx on your French cuff shirts. And I said, this dude here, I said, boy, I almost cut you that day and threw you over the balcony, and I was just gonna take your shirt, dog. And so now he's like, and so here's what I love about Crafting Cousin, and like with everyone that you deal with, they're like, bring me a challenge. Show me what you want, tell me what you want, and I'll figure out how to get it done, right? And so that piece right there. And so with people putting you in the box, do you think it's because it's out of just decorum, like this is the right thing, we're gonna let him do his thing, we're here to party? Do you think it's because, now I will say, you have a level of celebrity around you. Have you accepted that yet?
I have, and I use it to my advantage because I can open up more doors for other people.
How long did it take you to accept the fact that you have a level of celebrity? Because I know that we're taught, especially in the black community, be meek, be humble.
Yeah.
You're like, you good, but you ain't that good, so know your place. How long did it take for you to get...
I think it was playing golf, because initially...
Really?
Because through golf, what they would tell you is, John, you're gonna play, and then all the celebrities we're gonna have a foursome, but then the celebrities are gonna play on your team. So I started doing the golf tournaments with the celebrities so much. They was like, oh man, Jon Saxx, you're a celebrity too. But you say I'm a celebrity. This is LT next to me on this side. This is Ray Allen next to me on this side. This is Eddie Jones behind me. This is Mike Vick. You know, this is Channing Crowder.
Shout out to Mike Vick. Shout out to Channing Crowder. Shout out to LT and to Eddie Jones, man. All the guys that, you know, we were getting rubbing elbows with because we were great
Shout
people.
out to Dwayne Starks for starting Golfing with Athletes to have us all together enjoying these businesses, bro. Thank you so much for putting it together.
And so this is where, so real quick, just with Dwayne, do you think that he understood the impact that he would have on an entire group of people when he started or not?
I think initially he knows that everybody has a golf tournament. All the athletes play, but how can we get these group of brothers together and business people together? I mean, we got, you know what I'm saying, some of the top doctors in there. Shout out to Big Doc. And you know, shout out to Biscuit. Just, you know, the homeboys.
Hey, hold on. It sounds like I don't know if Big Doc and Biscuit got bodies on their record, but you sound like you shooting out. Yeah, to the homies from the hood. I know you be.
Yeah.
So what's your Noop sign? Go ahead. So look, I don't know, like that almost look like he doing one of these joints, man.
But you know what? What happens is you get around people and you get to know them past their celebrity, who they are as a person. And the golf course brings that up because the saxophone can't help me out here. You know what I'm saying? Them football drills can't help you out here. It ain't happening.
Don't nobody care about how good you sound on the national anthem. No. Hey, you put that thing in the water. Guess what they said? He sucked.
Yeah, I'll drop another one.
Drop another one. Come on.
And you come out here and you have fun. Like this is therapy. It don't matter.
No. Now see, you say this is therapy. We talked about this earlier today. For you, this has been therapy. It is therapy. For me, this was my worst nightmare coming on the golf course.
Really?
Being afraid, man, dude. Tell me one positive movie you've seen on, and with the exception of The Legend of Bagger Vance.
Yeah.
Other than that, man, you see Caddyshack and all these other things. I was terrified of being out here, and as a young black guy, I thought I had no business being out here on the golf course. But this is where I met you, and this is where I got to know you, and this is where I'm pretending like, dude, if it wasn't for this, what we have, oh my god.
Well, you know what? So my mom tried to get me. My mom played golf when she was, because she was a principal. She wanted to kind of understand, you know, the camaraderie.
Have you told your mama how awesome she is?
Man, I told my mama she amazing every day.
Come on, dude.
But as a
Mama Saxx, we love you. Thank you.
Love your mama. But coming in, the engineers that were hired from Johnson & Johnson were required to learn how to play golf because we played in American Red Cross golf tournament every year, and they would match.
It was a requirement?
Yeah, we had to learn how to play. As an engineer, you had to learn how to play golf. So they gave you lessons, they gave you an instructor, and you had to play. Oh yeah, no, I didn't play that. And every other Friday, it was like we call it Golf Fridays. You know, so you would leave early, you could get off early and go play golf. It was perfect.
For real?
What? So I had to learn.
Did you enjoy the learning process of golf?
Well, all the engineers played, so everybody was talking smack. It was always an inner office type of thing. So people were like, "Oh, yeah, you suck."
So where were you in that inner office type deal? Where were you? Were you?
I was terrible.
For real?
Man, I couldn't play no. I couldn't hit that doggone ball. I couldn't do nothing.
Even with the ball standing still, and it, dude, cause I look at you now, I see you 350 with the 3-wood, light work on a Tuesday. You telling me you were horrible?
Oh man, it was bad. It was bad. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I stayed underneath a tree in the water. That's why I can hit from anywhere, because I lived in a tree.
But because you were everywhere.
Oh man, I was everywhere though. I lived under a tree. My ball was guaranteed to be on the next fairway every single hole. You know what I'm saying? It was terrible.
You got my
It
head hurt,
man. It was terrible, man.
So are you telling me, for me, there's hope?
Man, there's hope.
There's hope.
If I can do it, anybody can do it.
Oh my God.
I mean, I was coming in 110, 120 confidently.
Hey, you came out, but you had the swag.
Oh no, I didn't have.
You didn't have the swag,
I didn't really know what I was doing. I just had a whole lot of stuff on. 2 gloves. I bought some clubs from one of my coworkers. He didn't want no more. I don't even know if these good clubs. They was like some old man pings, some orange dot pings.
Hey, they probably had been in the lake a couple of times.
They probably did. But I didn't know no better, man. I bought them. I bought that whole bag for $500. Everything. I bought everything. And I was proud of that bag. I was proud. I had clubs. I would go out there. I know that nobody want me playing on their team.
They didn't want you to play with them?
No, I was terrible.
I thought people wanted bad people to play with them to increase their handicap and everything.
Because most of the guys have been playing since they were 10 and 6
and how old are you when you started?
Man, shoot, let me see. I got 20, 21, 22. Shit, man, I had never played no golf.
Hey, man,
I racquetball, I was in band camp, I played basketball, I ran track, any of them those other sports, but golf, no.
So real quick, what did you think of golfers when you thought they were soft?
I just knew I bring a whole lot of balls. I'm gonna need them. I'm gonna be underneath every tree and just get used to dropping. That's how it was.
So let me ask you, so when you were playing early, did you have a good group of guys where at least they made the game fun for you, or were you?
Hell no, they always put me in the D group. I might as well be in the F group. You know what I'm saying? Those are the guys who couldn't play and who really wasn't taking it serious. So I'd be back there with them. So, I mean, they would make me feel better about my stuff. I ain't that bad.
Oh
Then I graduated to the C group.
And then?
And then I got to the B group, and I knew that if I wanted to change my game and change my conversations, I need to get in the A group. But I just didn't have that type of time to practice because I was trying to balance being laid off, trying to be Jon Saxx.
But right now you're in A group, right?
I'm not in A group. I'm not in A group right now yet. I have A group game, but that's why I came to join the club, because A group means now I have the power to invite somebody to my club and close the deal, or I have somebody to invite to my club and give them the experience.
So okay, so you're going to these events, you're playing, you are the entertainment, or as you affectionately call it, the help.
Yeah.
So you're there, and then you get to participate in the golf, in the rounds, in the tournament.
Exactly.
They're like, all right, we're gonna put Saxx with da 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 da.
Mm-hmm. And you know the force.
It's a trouble.
Yeah,
it's trouble.
But no, they don't know, because
here's what I know. I know it's trouble.
No. See, usually they don't expect the musician to be able to play.
They expect, so they're like, we got stuck with this fella. We got stuck with the help.
And then I don't say nothing. They was like, well, do you play? I'm like, I do play. I play a lot. I play quite often. Are you good? I can play.
I can play.
It was like, let's see. Pow! Next to the stick. Oh.
Hold on, wait, time out. So when your pow, just so you all are clear, it sounds like a rifle shot going off. And you hear the echo. And you're watching, and you're looking, and you're like, I hate this guy. I hate him. I love this guy, but I hate him. Like, so every round of golf we play, there's a love-hate relationship. That's why you always go first, because I hate you when you hit it, but then I'm like, okay, let me see if I can get there. And then when I don't, I hate you even more, but it's okay.
But you know, like, it always boils down to conversation, man. Conversation will help you establish the chemistry and the connection. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about conversation. You gotta use conversation no matter what it is, because we're more alike than we're not. But we don't know that because you've been sitting in your marinade, your seasoning, your sauces, in your own little thing. For me, I like eating out. I like going to I like all the seasoning and sauces. But so, you know, when we have a conversation, 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna find something that we get along in. So like golf. Okay, obviously we play golf. So what more is it? It's more than just whatever it is that you do, whether you're a banker, whether you're a doctor, whether you're, I've done that too.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm out here, I made time for this game called golf. And this right here has changed my life.
So something I'm always curious about. You are what I would consider one of the most strategically, intentionally thoughtful individuals that I've ever met in my life, right? Where does that come from?
I'm an engineer. I'm just a natural problem solver. I mean, I'm thinking, you know, being in new product development, I'm 2-3 years ahead of the game. So if I'm living in a risk management plan, what's the worst that can happen? What can stop me from accomplishing my goal? What hurdles will keep me from not achieving this? What certifications is going to keep me back? Because I've been faced with that time and time again, being an African American male in these corporate American settings with high positions. So I already know what to expect. I expect resistance. I expect that. So I always have to, when you stay ready, you got to get ready. I don't mind working. I love working. I love solving problems. I love challenges.
Which means, so you all notice that we are the only two brothers out here on the golf course. It is 91 degrees. Feels like, it says 94. I'm going to say a hundo, right? We ain't had nobody pass us, nobody play up on us. Oh, we got one behind us. Okay, so we might have to move in a moment.
Okay.
But this goes back to, we talking about, we love this game. We love this thing that you're in, this entertainment space, this engineer space, and this project management space. Where does that love or that reluctance of fear to work, right? So you're not afraid to work hard. You're not afraid to be the one that goes longer, harder, faster than anyone. Is that mom and dad? Is that coming from, you know, life experience? Where is that coming from?
Mom and dad, and definitely my grandparents. So when I turned...
Hold on, so real quick, your grandparents played that big of a role in your life?
Oh, yeah. We used to stay with them in the summertime. Because
where?
In Cincinnati, Ohio.
Okay.
So my father, like I said, was a retired cop, and my mom is an elementary school principal. So she had summer school. She taught STEM. She taught math, and during the summer, so our summertime, we'd always be with our grandparents.
So I got a question. What kind of student were you?
I was a good student because my mama didn't play that.
You ain't have no choice.
No.
You ain't,
We ain't doing no bad grades. Don't bring no F and no D's in the house. Or
you ain't have no choice, Saxx.
I mean, I had perfect attendance.
Hey,
Because when I left to go to school,
that
my
perfect
mom,
attendance was something else, right?
I
Be
mean, I
like,
had no other choice.
you might get a C, but you gonna have perfect. You gonna show up.
I'm gonna tell you one time, fourth grade. Anytime my mom would come to parent-teacher conference, she would tell the teacher, if you ever have a problem, you call me.
Now hold on. Now, she's coming to the parent. Now she wasn't in education at that time.
Yeah. She always been in education. She was a teacher and then became a principal.
So she was a teacher coming to parent-teacher conferences,
Well, yeah.
talking to, in essence, her colleagues.
Yeah, she wanted to make sure
about this guy.
Oh yeah, my mom did always very, very, very involved. So in fourth grade, I was the class clown.
So hold on. Here's what I don't like. I don't like, of all your years on this earth, you remember this parent-teacher conference in fourth grade.
What?
Something happened?
Man, what? No, fourth grade. I was in there. We supposed to be taking I went to a private Baptist school. We supposed to be taking a Bible verse test. And I'm up in there. I don't know what was going on. I don't know what I was doing.
Your legs were wiggling?
Oh, man. I was cracking jokes like, yeah. I had everybody rolling. They be like, Mr. Funny Man. They be like, John, you need to sit down. No, I ain't sitting down nothing. I got the stage right now. Teach you, relax. I got the floor.
So the teacher was the supporting cast. Yep. You're the main character.
So all of a sudden, my boy was like, hey man, I think your mom in the back. So my mom a principal. My mom ain't in the back. Something told me.
Wait, she was at the school?
The teacher went and called my mom and said,
hold on, she was already a principal at the school?
No.
Oh no.
The teacher went and called my mother and said, your son is disrupting school. So my mom took a half a day. And came on up there to the school and watched. She watched for a good 15 minutes. She was oh, Mr. Funny Man got, you know me, I wanted mama, I'm sorry, mama. You know what I'm saying?
No, you go ahead, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, boss.
Okay.
Mama, I'm gonna take care of this for this evening. He'll be back tomorrow. You won't have any other problems out here. She picked me up, told me to get my stuff, took me home, locked the door. She said, you better be here because I got to go back to work. I had to take a personal day to act for you. You want to act the fool? Okay, cool. Went on, did her day, came back. She sat me down in the living room.
Stop. So you knowing your mama coming home and you at the crib. Mm-hmm. How you feeling? Do you know what? You know it? See, she got the. Hey, hold on, wait. So who had the switch street? Your mom or your grandma?
Mom had the switch street in the front yard.
So you knew what was coming.
I knew what was gonna happen when she came back. And my dad worked second shift, so I was gonna catch it at midnight and catch it at like 6 o'clock. So she came in there. She sat me down. She said, "I'm very disappointed." I can't believe you're embarrassing the family like this. I can't believe you up in there acting the fool. Oh, this, you don't want only few black people and you want to act the fool. I can't believe you acting the fool.
Hold on. Now that's key. So you're talking about the private school, right? So you are one of the few of us in there.
Yes. And you acting the fool.
How dare you do that to us?
You messing up the family name.
So, you ain't thought about no.
You messing up the family name. So she said, okay. She gave me my little 10-minute, 15-minute lecture and go get me a switch. And I think she whooped me until she just got tired. She was just tired.
She said, I ain't got no more.
Yeah, I went to sleep. She beat me to sleep. I was asleep.
You went to sleep?
Nah, man, I went to sleep. I get beat so good. And then I woke up about 11:30 to my father coming in. You know what I'm saying? He had the old school police belt. He was just swinging. Cow, just whatever connected. Cow in the sleep.
That's abuse. I know you filed charges with the DCF, right?
Yeah, right, man. My parents knew DCF.
You didn't file charges?
Man, no, I can't file charges.
Saxx, come on, man. You supposed to, hey, listen. My name is...
The DCF president used to come to my parents' parties. No, that ain't
my name is Jonathan. I need to file charges against...
I call DCF, they be like, does your parents know you called us?
They be like, we gonna do you a favor. We gonna act like this did not happen.
Yeah, we just erase that phone call. No, we ain't doing that.
Come on, man. My dog playing so fast.
Yeah, but my parents was about discipline, though. They did not play dumb games because, you know, of the stuff that they went through.
Yeah.
You know, my grandparents were from Alabama, Mississippi, so they came up old school.
It's different, right?
Old school, straight up old school.
Yeah.
I was born and raised in the church. My grandfather was the praying deacon. My other grandfather led the male chorus. They ain't sing with no music.
Oh, okay. So you got that. Go ahead and hit us with something.
Oh no. That's why I play saxophone. That was not my gift. Singing was not my gift.
So here's what's crazy. It ain't my gift either. I just don't operate in my gifts. Yeah. So you know, like God gave us all the notes. I just decided to use everything He has given me at one time.
God said use all that noise and turn the conversation and inspire. Don't sing it. Talk it. Put some music behind it. Put a soundtrack behind the song.
Can we go hit a golf ball?
Sure.
It's been an hour and we ain't hit no golf ball. So check this out. So it showed us how far we were behind. I think we're like an hour and 30 minutes behind pace.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you care about the pace of the game, right? Because it's 100 degrees. But my dog flew through here, boy. He on the green in 6.
Okay. But you know, I just think that we need more conversations like this. I think there's a lot of amazing people out there who have not told their story or don't think that their story is important. I didn't necessarily think that my story was important.
That was the next question I was going to ask you. Do you think that when did you realize that you had something, that your story had value, not for Jon Saxx, but for someone else?
It always started with Career Day because that's what changed my life.
So stop. So Career Day, you're talking about going into the school system and just telling people what you do, showing them, giving them the Jon Saxx experience. Why is Career Day? And I asked you this earlier, like, dude, Career Day, we think, yeah.
Everybody thinks that to the right light comes into your Career Day. Mr. Thomas Graves. He's an engineer.
So Thomas Graves did something for. So are you telling me without him, there's no version of?
Mr. Thomas Graves came into Career Day and said, "Who wants to learn how to fly?" You know, and like I told you at the time, Superman was to do. So learning how to fly was a thing. So I threw my hand up like, oh,
hey,
heck
you threw it as high as you could.
What?
You jumping out your seat.
What? So they called me. So he said, come on up to the front. I said, all right. He said, stand in this chair, hold your hands out, close your eyes. He said, are you flying yet? I was like, no, I'm standing in this chair with my arms out, my eyes closed. I am not flying. He said, everybody give him a round of applause. When you ready to learn how to fly, give me a card. They gave me his card. Turns out, he's an engineer at Johnson & Johnson, and he has 20 patents. What happened? I became an engineer at Johnson & Johnson, and I have 2 trademarks. And I didn't even notice the full circle moment at the time because I never had really thought about working for Johnson & Johnson because my internship was in automotive.
Yeah.
So I figured I'd be in automotive.
Yeah.
And turn full circle and ended with Johnson & Johnson. So there would be no engineer. And then the next class or the next rotation after that was the music.
Still at Career Day.
Still a Career Day.
Okay, so you leave the engineer, and then next rotation, Career Days keep going, and because most of us are thinking Career Day, me. So Jon Saxx, not Saxx at the time, just John.
Yep, just John. Just Lil John.
Lil John goes in. Okay. Oh yeah, I'm gonna fly. All right. And next.
Then the next rotation was the music program. So the students.
Now, were you musically inclined? Were you interested in music at that point?
No, I was just Career Day.
So you were from the same position we were, like me.
Yeah. I didn't play no instrument. You know, at church I was a usher.
4th grade, church, John, Lil John is just usher. We just sit here. I'm here because I got to be here because my mom and daddy making me be here. Might as well do something so I ain't got to sit in the seat the whole time.
My dad's active. My grandfather's active. My mom is the church secretary. Everybody active. My aunts go here, so everybody active. So you gonna be active too. You gonna be usher. You ain't gonna just be sitting up in the pew.
Right.
You know, I went to vacation Bible school.
So the fact that you said pew, let me know you got some winters behind you. Right. The pew, the whole long bench where you sit down and look down the whole bench and be like, about 18 inches in is my section of the pew.
Yep.
Okay.
On the right hand side.
Come on.
Everybody got on the organ side.
All right. So you weren't looking for so you're there Career Day. Go ahead.
And then the different students with the flutes, the clarinets,
what?
and the trombones. So the students, it was the students who were in band at the school that came to participate in Career Day. But when it came down to the saxophone players, there weren't any, so the teacher demonstrated what the saxophone should sound like. And, you know, and out of all the students, shit, that sounded the best.
Okay.
The saxophone, I was like, woo. So when I got home, I said, Mom, I was like, I want to play saxophone. I want to play saxophone. So they looked up how much the saxophone would cost. And they was like, in Jesus' name, $800. No.
So, hold on. How dope is it to have parents who would even entertain what your interests are as a kid? Because I know what the norm is. You a kid, you don't know what you want. Mm-hmm. You don't have no say in this. You're gonna play the piano because everybody got a piano.
Yeah. Well, no, they gave me that option. They said, okay, you want to play the saxophone? I said, okay, cool. It's just going to cost $800. So in the meantime, the teacher said, instead of investing in this $800 saxophone, you're not going to know if they're going to be for real about it. We're going to start with a flutophone. Which is the same like a recorder.
Okay, so the flutophone, instead of $800, we're talking about $700.
No, we talking about $15. $5 for the flutophone, $10 for the book.
So stop. You talking about the flutophone, the recorder,
yeah.
So I always think about that as the guy that who was it that had the rats following him and the
Piper.
The Pied Piper. So that's what you started with.
I started with the little thing.
So I should see you and see you just talking to snakes.
Yeah, y'all go ahead.
You're golfing or what?
Yeah, we golfing, but y'all go ahead. We talking.
You don't want to be behind us.
Hey, no,
you don't know that.
Trust me, you don't. It's gonna be a long day for you.
It's okay. Can't get no longer, baby.
This should be fun.
This should be fun. They got 4 people in 3 bags. That lets you know right now.
It's just like, you know, when you look at golfers, you can never really tell who's good and who's not.
They got the music, they got the sticks.
Yeah, they swag.
See, here's what's crazy. They GSO boys. They don't even know they GSO boys.
They got the sticks.
And see, man.
They got the sticks. They got the gear. Look, everybody smoking cigars.
But see, that's what's crazy because
he's a lefty.
Because who I knew we were with, I didn't bring the sticks. Right? And so I'm like, oh, nah, we ain't finna GSO boy this thing. This game is awesome, though. Yeah.
It's just, you get a chance to see people's personalities. It's amazing. Because this game is just that attractive.
Dude, so I was at the... What we got? We ain't got no air show this weekend, do we?
It's the simple fact that they out here playing says a lot about their
See, that's it, right? My man's shirt, you know, I'm all about the funkiness.
This dude right here must be the hustler.
Who's the hustler? The one in the white pants?
Yeah, the one in the white pants. He must be the one that can play.
So check this out. So I'm gonna take, I've got all my shorts and pants. I'm doing mine a little lower, just above the thigh right here. So I'm about to get all that stuff to Crafting Cousins,
man. Dog, it's, you know what? My goal with Crafting Cousins, and I told him, I said, I just want to wear me.
That's it.
That's all I want to do, wear me.
Hey, boy.
It's all good. Hey, we got to start somewhere.
Hey, that's what he say. That's what he said. You giving me something to aspire to.
We got one mulligan, baby. That was it.
No, he ain't that guy. Hey, Saxx, he ain't that guy. Saxx.
Never know.
Man, I do know.
They went forward.
Hey, boy, we moving in the right direction. We are the way up. We all the way up.
You know, it's I think probably the most interesting thing about all of this is that people actually want to hear my story. Like they actually see that there's more than just a saxophone. Because I know when I'm out here playing golf or people get to talking to me, they're like, "Hey man, what you used to do before you started playing saxophone?"
What you did before that? You ain't no saxophonist. You ain't no entertainer. So let me ask you. So why do you lead? So everywhere you are, no matter where there's publication, video, TV, you always say entertainer, engineer, project manager. Why do you lead with entertainer?
Because that's what you see. I mean, when you see this, you're going to see Jon Saxx.
Dude, I see that, but dude, I think that's the smallest piece of you.
Well, but it's the appetizer. It's the one thing that you're going to pay attention to first because that's what you remember me as. So if that's going to be the introductory, then that's an amazing introductory because it's a universal language and I can talk to anybody and I can entertain anywhere, and that's where I'm seen. So I'm seen at the Heat, I'm seen at the Dolphins, seen at the hockey game, seen at the baseball game as Jon Saxx. And so because that's what you know, because that's what I trademark and that's the character that I created. You know, so when they see Clark Kent and I don't have nothing on, they're gonna be like, "Who is that?"
Hey, so check this out. So this whole persona of Jon Saxx, if someone sees you not in red, not with a top hat, no saxophone in hand, and no glasses on, right? They walking right by you. So you get to, like, dude, you are the epitome of a superhero. Mm-hmm. You get to just walk and just be normal. You get to just enjoy the normal
when
life.
I'm Clark Kent, I'm Willy Wonka. But when I'm Jon Saxx, I'm the greatest showman.
Come on.
And if you pay attention to that analogy, Willy Wonka was truly a engineer. He specialized in chocolate. He always believed in automating and customizing his process. Here, the only thing he outsourced was how he got the chocolate using those cocoa beans. But after that, he was a genius. Well, nobody really pays attention to that. I do. So music is my chocolate. Engineering is my chocolate. Project management is my chocolate.
Okay. So what's next?
I need to definitely write a book. I need to do a children's book so I can keep them inspired.
Hold on. So now, you know me. I'm Mr. Accountability, Mr. Success Partner. So am I supposed to say, "Hey, Saxx, what's going on with this book?"
Yes, you're supposed to be doing that for a book. You're supposed to be doing that for real estate.
Oh, real estate, I'm locked in, boy. You done gave me the time frame. I'm sitting there, I'm like, boy, stop playing.
You know, it's just adding to those buckets. So initially my buckets were, of course, God first in Jesus' name.
That's
family.
That's a fantastic first bucket, ain't it?
Eternity, charity, Jon Saxx, and then Uncle John. You know what I'm saying? Because if my circle of trust, that inner circle right there is each one of those boxes are checked, that's what gives me my superpower. You know what I'm saying? That's what allows me to be who I am, because all of those boxes fed into that person that I am, especially starting with my family.
So 2024 right now, what are you most excited about finishing this year, going into next year? Well, is there something that has the coals burning and where you're like, oh, I can't, like, this is what's pulling me through?
Understanding my complete story, understanding how to tell it better and effectively and efficiently.
How do you think you're doing on that piece right now? Do you think, are you starting to understand how to tell who is Jon Saxx and the story piece behind it?
Yes, because I realized that I can't be the only storyteller for my story. Somebody else has to tell my story. So shout out, Miami did an amazing job of telling my story. Miami University told my story from an engineering perspective.
You said University of Miami.
Miami University in Oxford, Ohio.
You said University of Miami.
No. That's the other Miami. See,
the other.
Miami was founded in 1809 before Florida was a state.
Talk that talk, Shawty, come on.
You know, just so everyone knows. So it's Miami University in Oxford, Ohio.
Hey, stop right there. You know you a jerk for this. And that's why I did it. Hey, set the record straight, Saxx. Come on, let's go.
No, actually you were owned by Spain at the time.
Oh! So we weren't even ourselves.
Because I also have a degree from the U, project management degree. I decided to see what this talk about University of Miami is all about. Shout out to the University of Miami, which is have been an amazing client. I take care of the dermatology department. Y'all have a graduating class next week. Always a pleasure to do this.
Come on.
But UM and University of Miami have both been amazing to me. I cannot complain. I have an education from you both, so I appreciate it.
Okay. All right. Good stuff.
But telling my story, I think, is probably the highlight, because I know that in me telling my story, I can tell the good, I can tell the bad, the hurdles. Life is a project to be managed. You know, don't let nobody stand in your way. The people you love the most is the people you need to watch the most. Every goodbye ain't gone. Every shut eye ain't sleep. Every goodbye ain't gone. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. It's not what you know, it's who you know, but it's what you know about who you know that matters.
So something that you said that I believe is my favorite Saxxism, right? And you said it to your kids at career day, right? Talking about haters, right? What did you tell the kids?
So your number one hater will be you.
And so why is that so important for us to understand and embrace and then move beyond?
Because it's all about your mind and the things your mind are set on. So if you don't have a plan, then you're just gonna be out there in Never Land, just doing nothing.
What's the opposite? So here, man, when I say I've sat with you, I've had conversations. So you say Never Land.
And always,
Never Land has an opposite side, which is
always will.
So
in the Never Land, when you do nothing, nothing happens. But in always world is like that, because you're always doing something. So as long as you always have the courage, always ask the question, always have a plan.
Let's go.
Always be prepared. Always be persistent. Always be consistent. Always be faithful. Something will always happen. But the minute you stop and you allow fear to get in you, that current of excuses starts pulling you back into Never Land.
Yeah. And is that something that your niece and nephew remind you of?
Well, I just think that, you know, if you're not dreaming for someone before they can dream for themselves, they don't even know the possibilities that they will have to even be or to do. I mean, and that's why cartoons help so much, because they can show you what you can potentially be or show you what you can potentially do just through song. Look at Sesame Street. Sesame Street is still around. Music, magic, and Muppets. The singing, the dancing, the Muppets. I mean, look, when you go to games, you look forward to looking at the mascot. You know, those things are important.
But I think that we as adults, we miss that, right? And like, we don't even realize and accept how important that stuff is, and how it brings us to being carefree and understanding and getting to live this big life and getting outside of our responsibilities, the challenges that we have. And so you always being in those environments, and then not only being in those environments, many times you are a part of that environment, where I know that with charities, you will become a character and help us forget about the bills that are due. You help us forget about the responsibilities that we have, right? So how much of that keeps you youthful and keeps you enjoying this thing called life?
So I have a fraternity brother of mine. His name is Kenny Glenn. Big shout out to Clinton. He wrote a book called Question Everything. And in chapter 1, he quotes me saying, "You're always with your younger self."
Yeah.
And so when you think about that, you have your younger self, you have your current self, and you have your future self. So as a current self right now, I'm the project manager of my younger self and my future self. So there's a lot of things, a lot of goals, a lot of ambitions that my younger self wanted to do. Am I accomplishing them goals? Are we connected here?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm also a project manager of my future self. So every move I make currently right now is going to affect my future. Am I prepared for that? I mean, you often ask yourself, what's the worst that can happen to you?
The worst case scenario.
What's the worst case? And that means that you could die without a will or a trust, and not be in the will of the Lord.
Yep.
That's the worst that can happen. And so you just reverse engineer from there. If you know that dying without a will or a trust and being in the will of God, then you need to fix all that and move forward. That's going to not only fix your younger self, it's going to help your current self give you a plan or a goal or a dream to accomplish, and just go from there. There's this thing they taught us in entrepreneur class called Dreamscape. Act
Time
like.
out. So, where did you take an entrepreneur class?
It's called Entre University by Jeff Lerner. It was like a 4 or 6 week class online.
Because for me, entrepreneurship was something I stumbled into, and then I had to learn with all the hard knocks and the headaches, right?
Yeah.
And you don't know what you're doing. You figured this thing out, and so you actually had a formal training course class.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that was beneficial in what you're doing?
Oh man, it was the best. It was the best money I spent because it got me out of my comfort zone box and allowed me to create my own box of achievement. It changed my perspective because the lesson that we did was called Dreamscape. Imagine that money and imagine that job doesn't matter. What does your day-to-day look like? What are your goals? What are your dreams? What are your aspirations when you remove all the hurdles? Mm-hmm. And we're so used to having hurdles in the way. It's called negative bias. 80% of your thoughts are negative. We're so used to having these negative thoughts that you don't think to change your landscape. And now
I can't think about the 20, the 80. The 80 is right here in my face,
exactly.
bro.
So when you remove the 80 and it clears up everything, it's just like, man, what is that you really want to do? When the fear has been removed. And then you can think clearly. And then you start writing that down. So now I'm entrepreneurship, my imagination, and I'm project managing my dreams now. Because there's no wrong, there's nothing that you can't do. And that's how kids look at life. It's just one big, whatever you want to do, it's one big dream. I mean, they don't care. Just as long as they get their diaper changed and get a bottle, get some milk, get some food. Walt Disney World, all the time. Walt Disney World. And it's not until you go to Walt Disney World that you see that there's something there for everybody. That younger child inside yourself is going to be activated.
So here's what I would ask you. The closing question I want to ask you is, you look at, you always talk about you're always with your younger self, right? Or your younger self is always with you. What would Jon Saxx say to Lil Jon today?
I would say, keep God first.
Stop. You know, that's not popular.
It don't have to be popular. That's the truth.
Is it really the truth?
I have a 104-year-old grandfather that said he's done everything in life that he's wanted to do. He's waiting for the good Lord to call him home, and that changed my life and perspective at everything. He told me that at his 100th birthday party.
So he's 104 when he passed. Yeah. How old are you when you hear that?
I am, I'm 46 now, so I was 40.
And so he tells you, hey, this. And so that changed Jon Saxx.
Changed my life because I've never heard anybody say they've done everything in life. Nobody's never, you can listen to any internet person in the world, nobody's ever told you they've done everything in life they want to do. Never heard it.
I know he passed at 104, but he told you years prior,
at 100,
this is what's going to happen. Yeah. And he didn't go into meeting God our Father with nervousness and fear. He went in like this right here.
Oh man.
Like a kid.
And he was the praying grandfather, so when he prayed, you knew that he had a relationship with Jesus Christ, because his prayers he prayed at everything. He prayed at everything. And so, when you have that faith base, you have that religion, and that's what your parents know. Then, that's what it is. My second advice would be always make sure you know your audience and make sure you know who's in the room. Do your research in advance. Know who you're playing with. Know who you're talking to.
Stop it. So
you need to know that.
But that requires work from me.
Of course it does. Go
I
research in the room.
I don't want to do R&D. I want what's called easy.
Well, when you do the R&D, it makes the relationship easy. But you got to put something in to get something out. Life is all about relationships. A relationship with the Lord, a relationship with your friend, a relationship with your parents.
You continue to say that you believe, like that's who Jon Saxx is. Like you believe to your core that your relationships impact every other aspect of your life.
Oh, it does. Because the only way I know who you are, what type of person you are, is for you to speak. If you don't speak, then I'm not going to know. If you don't tell me what's on your mind, I'm not going to know. If you're not going to tell me what you think, then I'm not going to know. I have this thing, I asked a friend of mine, because sometimes you can't tell your own story. I said, who is Jon Saxx to you, and who is Jonathan Ross to you?
Mm-hmm. Look, so just so y'all clear, I never shared John's last name, because I believe in confidentiality.
Yeah.
So they always call me the vault because I'm not sharing no personal information. And anyway, that's not gonna make the cut anyway.
Yeah.
I'm cutting that last name out.
So I asked a friend, I said, who is Jon Saxx to you? She said, a professional, has a deep passion for his craft, stage presence, business savvy, discipline, good work ethic, a man of many talents, resilient, knows what to wear, self-assured, confident, and it's perfect for my soul, which has become perfect for my soul. And then I asked her, well, who did she think my Clark Kent version of myself was? And she said, sincere, loves unconditionally, will be there for you no matter what, offers you kind words when you need them, advice, moral support, good sense of humor, communicative, a person who loves to try new things, caring, respectful with any other person, responsible for his life, can suppress all difficulties through his faith. And and it's that kind of gives you a benchmark of what you think you are, and then how somebody else.
So let me ask you, how much of what she said she thinks you are, and you think you are, how much did they overlap? Or what I've seen is, just in my studies of thousands of individuals, it's someone else always sees you in a better light than you see yourself. Or do you think that they were pretty close to matching?
To sit down with it and just think about it for myself, I think she was spot on. But she is a very analytical type of person anyway. She has a STEM mind. So I value her friendship. We've been friends for years. So I just value her. I just value how she thinks, what she thinks. And then I ran it past my sister, my mom, and it was like, yep. So I was like, oh, okay, cool.
So if there was one thing that you would tell anyone that might be watching our video today, what's the one thing you want them to take away from their time with us today?
I would say, repeat after me. I am amazing.
I'm amazing.
I am amazing.
I'm amazing.
And amazing looks good on me.
And amazing looks good on me.
And you think to yourself, when is the last time you told yourself you were amazing? If not ever, then you told yourself that you were amazing today. And so from now, we tell you, put your hand on your heart. You feel that? It's called God's amazing magic. That heartbeat, and that's what's going to give you your superpower to continue to be amazing. Life is a project to be managed. Continue to stick on your amazing plan. Let people know what they want. Dance in your imagination. Live in your dreams. Keep God first, and it's going to be okay.
So check this out. What you don't even know is, I know you gave it to me months ago. You do know this goes in my pocket everywhere I go.
Yeah.
Right? So this I am amazing Jon Saxx stone, right? This rock just reminds me, because we know there are different ways to do it, right? People have it in their pockets, all this stuff. But for me, having this with me reminds me, because here's what I know. I know there are going to be 2 times that I'm reminded that I'm amazing, if nothing else.
Yep.
It's going to be reminded when I put it into my pants.
Yep.
And then when I take my shorts or pants off, I have to clear my pocket, right? And so that's a big deal.
Because sometimes you don't know you're amazing. And sometimes, what my thing about going to career days and going to places, they don't really leave you with nothing. They tell you a lot of information, but they don't leave you with nothing. With this, you'll always remember that you're amazing. My amazing didn't been through it. But,
Ooh.
It's not about that.
Now, you sure you didn't just make that, like,
No.
your amazing might be easy.
No, man, my amazing look just like this.
So
jacked up.
So your amazing doesn't look like my amazing.
No, it's not. But you know what? I had to go through this to understand that I was amazing so that I could give this to you. It's nothing like a token of amazing that you can give to somebody, because they'll never forget this. They'll never forget this.
Yeah.
They'll never forget that. Never.
Dude, when I tell you that it has been a gift, a treat, and a pleasure not to only hang out with you today, but to continue to get to know you. And here's what's amazing. You and I, over this thing called golf, this thing called life, we've got to experience some amazing experiences. And we know what we've done, where we're going, who we've met, doors that have been opened, the experiences that we've got to enjoy together, the popcorn, all that stuff, man. And I tell you, I can't wait to see what we do going forward. And man, dude, when I say you're amazing, brother, it is absolutely amazing. And I can't wait to hear about the follow-up episode of this. So this might be 4, 5, 6 episodes. I don't know. It might be 2. But we've still got to get you after you're on the cruise. We've got to get you after you do DR, after you do, because here's what I know. I know that as you set an example that we're here to follow you. And so what is, if I could ask, what is the one thing, because I know I've already done this once, but what is the one thing that you would tell 5th grade Jon Saxx? Because I know what you did in 4th grade, but in 5th grade, what would you tell you at that moment?
Don't be scared to dream big.
Were you?
No, just I would say just don't be scared to dream big, because I was just all over the place, and I knew whatever I applied myself to, I was going to do. So just don't be scared to dream big, but also have a plan. Always have a plan for your dreams. Have a plan for your dreams. Dance in your imagination, but project manage your dreams. Project manage them, because they can come true. They will come true. Whatever you put your mind to, you can accomplish.
All right.
It's a saying that says God didn't give everybody everything.
Stop the
But
madness.
He did give everybody something, and with that something, you can do anything. Don't be scared to dream. Trust me, because the stuff that I've accomplished, I didn't even dream that big. It was presented to me, and so I was like, oh, okay, I can do this.
That's possible.
I was like, woo. You know, just playing for all the sports teams, being an official saxophone player for the Heat, the Dolphins, the Marlins, and the baseball team, and the hockey team, playing for presidents of the United States.
Hey, now hold on, man. Don't be telling everybody what we did. Hey, so just so y'all clear, I be jumping on the bandwagon. I be like, man, boy, me and Saxx, you know, my dog Saxx, you know, here's what we have done. But I'm all about French language. We.
But on a side note, you know what I'm saying, it takes amazing to know amazing. And it's an honor to share in these conversations and have these open dialogues to talk about the things that we know, we've been through, the hurdles that we have to overcome, but then also the rewards of choosing certain situations, choosing certain goals, and using our tools and techniques to accomplish those goals. And I think that the reward and feeling worthy of yourself, because if you're in the room, you deserve to be there. So use those tools and techniques to stay in that room. Say
that one more time, because I know my audience. My audience, we have this imposter syndrome, right? We think that, yeah, I'm here, but I'm undeserving. I'm here, but it's luck. I'm here, but at any moment they're gonna find me out, right? And I've dealt with this. I deal with this on a daily. And so our relationship and having a conversation with you, you're like, oh man, you finna get in there and crush it. You know, they're fortunate to be in the room with you. I'm like,
yeah, it takes me out, yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't think that. So that piece there, it's a very real thing that a lot of people are dealing with, right?
Yeah, I give you the same advice that Venus and Serena's father gave them. When you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So you just gotta have a plan. He had a whole plan for his daughters.
The King
tennis.
Richard video, the movie,
Richard.
was awesome.
Yeah,
Dude, I mean, that is crazy.
And that's what it's about. And it should be just that. You know what I'm saying? And I would also say, what do you want? Why do you want it? And how do you plan to achieve it? And when you say how do you plan to achieve it, what coach is going to show you? What mentor is going to show you?
So stop. So you keep talking about coaches. You mentioned coaches hours ago. Is a coach really that big of a deal, dude?
They help you dream for you before you can dream for yourself. And plus, what they do is they help you remove those rabbit holes out of the way. They are bridges for your dreams and your goals and your imagination, because there's nothing new under the sun. I mean, especially when you connect and you are connected with somebody who you like, because you like the way they move, you like the businesses that you have, you like the words that they say, you are drawn to that. And when you pay attention to that model, to that playbook, you start to see the gaps. You know, you just get it's called SWOT: strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. They help you realize your goals and your visions, and they help make them accomplishable. There's nothing you can't do.
Do you believe that for real?
I believe that 100%. Nick Vujicic, He's called Life Without Limbs. He has no
Boy,
arms and no legs.
No arms, no legs. Y'all ain't doing everything.
Doing everything. So I mean, there's people out there that are living examples.
But here's what we do. We start, oh yeah, but he's special.
Yeah.
But he's got favor. He's got giftings, but he got a handout and all this. And so we discount that we have the same thing in here.
Remember, you're all wonderfully and fearfully made. The one thing that separates you from anybody else is your heartbeat. Your heartbeat has its own natural rhythm. Your fingerprints, you are wonderfully and uniquely made.
Even for my twins and triplets.
Your iris, you know, your brainstem, and then the thoughts that you think, they are uniquely yours. So embrace that uniqueness, understand that you are worthy, and just create a plan and accomplish your goal. Don't let nobody stop you. Don't be your number one hater.
Don't be your number one hater. And in that, we are going to leave you like I always leave you. And that is that I love you. God loves you. And there is nothing you can do about it. And until the next time I see you or you see me, don't be average, be world renowned. Peace.